Are you looking at starting your motorcycle journey? Well, you're in the right place, because I'm going to give you 5 key pieces of advice so you can start your journey. Well, let's start with number 1, what can be quite confusing, and of course that's what license you need to ride a motorcycle. Well, here in the UK you can start at the grand age of 16. At 16 years old you can ride a 50cc scooter, moped or motorcycle. The thing that you need though is a CBT. This is a compulsory basic training. It's literally a day course, and at the end of it you'll get your certificate. We'll go through all the basic training. You can go out and ride your bike. Now at the age of 17 you can also use your CBT, what means that you can then ride up to a 125cc bike, and that opens things up into a whole new world. Now moving on from that, at the age of 19 you can get your A2 license. Your A2 license will let you ride any motorcycle as long as it doesn't exceed 35 kilowatt. That is already confusing, isn't it? So such bikes as the CB500X from Honda, that is an A2 compliant licensed bike, but generally you can get kits for most bikes that will bring it down to that 35 kilowatt, so you've got a whole load of choice. Moving on from there, at the age of 21 and greater you can then take your A license. Your A license means you can ride any motorcycle, any power, and you can blitz around. Now that moves me on to number 2, where things get a lot more exciting. The motorcycle, the thing that we dream of, the thing that we get posters of, we buy magazines to look at, we search the whole of YouTube to find out more information about all of these amazing bikes. And trust me, the first thing that I think when I'm going to pass my test would be, I want to buy a massive bike like this, an Africa Twin, go on huge adventures. But I want to give you a little bit of food for thought right now, starting from the beginning. You've just got your bike license. You want to have some time. Look at it like training. Training is the best way to look at it. Take your time and enjoy the bikes that are a little bit smaller. Now you're thinking, yeah, but I want a bigger bike. But bear with me, because if you buy, say for instance, a 125cc bike that's capable of doing 70 miles an hour, they weigh averagely 135 kilograms. Now that weight is quite important for when you're new, because again, look at it like you're training. Think of it like this, the worst case scenario, being new to riding, you're going to get your feet wrong, you're going to miss foot, and you're going to end up dropping the bike. Are you going to easily be able to pick it up? When you come to a slow stand, bikes can feel heavy in the beginning. A light bike means it doesn't, so it continues to build you with confidence. From a standstill, you can move the bike around confidently knowing it's not going to go too far, it's not going to drop on the floor. The other side is moving it around. If you've got a garage or you need to get it down the side of a house, you need to be able to freewheel the bike. And again, a lighter bike in the beginning helps build that confidence because it's easy to push and easy to move around. Like I said though, look at it like training. You're going to master this smaller bike. Really, you could go anything sort of sub 300cc and down to make this happen, and it will generally build your confidence and make you a better rider. You'll find it easier to handle, easier to move around, and it will just tick so many boxes. At the point you feel like you've mastered that bike, you're comfortable, your confidence is then built up, you're in the biking community, you're enjoying the ride, that's the time to really consider what bike suits you. Now the things to think about, and it is something that's really worth thinking about, it's not all about the awesome looks. I mean, don't get me wrong, I am just like you. I look at a bike and for me it's things like the Triumph Scrambler and I just go, oh wow, it's such a gorgeous bike. The Africa Twin, I was like, that looks like a beast. But I want you to consider this as well. Why are you buying a bike? What's it going to be used for? For instance, if you're using it for commuting to work or going to college or university, then you want a bike that's going to be comfortable to ride, economical on fuel, can take a lot of the bad weather in regards to it's got protection so you're not going to get soaked every single time, and also maybe a little bit of storage. But if you're buying a bike for adventuring, going on massive adventures, big trips, long weekends, weeks away, or even months away, you're going to be looking at a bigger bike that's able to take lots of luggage. That means panniers. Panniers is where we can store lots of kit, lots of clothes, camping equipment, all sorts in the panniers and go on big adventures. That might be the perfect bike that you're after. Or is it your weekend blast bike? That bike you want to go flying around the bends, letting it rip, having a lot of fun? Because that's a whole different bike altogether. No worrying about luggage, rucksacks, just pure adrenaline and fun. Or is it your everyday bike? The bike that you want to do a little bit of shopping on. Again, you need some panniers on it to put your shopping on, run around to the shops, get to work, do your usual day-to-day stuff, your only mode of transport, because that again is a completely different style of bike. That all being said, you have to enjoy and love the bike you're going to buy. So it has to be one that when you look at it, it takes your breath away a little bit, because it means that you're enjoying it and you want to ride it. One of the simple tests I like to do when I'm considering buying a bike is I'll sit down with a beer and I'll open my laptop and I'll take a look through the bikes and I'll look at one and I'll go, would this be the bike if I was sat in a beer garden or a coffee shop staring over? Would that be the bike I'd focus on? And if it is, I already know I'm going to be happy with it on the long term, at least for styling and looks. So I just want to stop this video really quickly to talk about this product. It's the Asprix AX3000 Jumpstarter. What this does, it will jumpstart any vehicle up to 10 litres and even a diesel engine up to 8 litres. So it will start a bike or a car with no problem whatsoever. It's dead simple to use. You keep it charged up, and if you ever come back, say from holiday or a trip, to your vehicle and it's dead, you just locate the battery, you turn this on, you plug it in, you connect it to your battery plus and minus, hit the button, light turns green, and boom, your engine will start, meaning that you can get home. It's even got a built-in light, so you've got a torch, so if you can't see and it's pitch black, you can use in this. Plus, if you're completely lost, you've even got a compass on the back so you can navigate your way home. So this really is the perfect device to keep at home, ready to start any bike if it runs out of power, or in the glove box of your car in case you ever go on a trip and you come back and you're worried about your battery. This is awesome. I'll leave you the product link down in the description. You can click on it and pick yours up today. So I want to move on to number 3. Now number 3 is super important because safety gear is what's going to save your life. Now here in the UK, I kid you not, the only thing you need to wear is a helmet. Just a motorcycle helmet. You could ride around in your pants and wear a safety helmet, and in theory, you'd be legal. How nuts is that? So this is what I want you to consider. How much would you value right now your hand? How much would you value it? Because for me, it's priceless. Without these, there's not a lot I'm going to be able to do, especially on the bike or normally on a working day to day. So I want to protect them. And so the thing of it is that what I'd say is that there's a whole range of kit out there from different costs. The most important thing is to make sure you're buying kit that is safety certified. What I mean by that is that they've got a safety rating, and there's different ones. For instance, there is jeans out there, motorcycle jeans you can buy that are AAA rated jeans. And for example, again, Roadskin, it's a brand that I wear all the time. Their jeans are incredible. Please don't go out and buy a pair of jeans from one of the supermarkets, one of the clothing shops, or even cheaper, a pair of jeans thinking, well, because they say they're denim jeans, they're going to protect me, they're going to be great. Because I can tell you, if you're going to slide down the road, they're going to rip and you're going to get hurt, and that is not what you want. By buying proper safety rated kit, you're going to protect yourself. But going back to choice, there is so much to pick from. You can go for the casual urban style look where you've got that hoodie, again, Roadskin selling an amazing one, jeans, urban looking boots, and they generally look like you're just going out for the day, and that is fully protected bike gear, so you don't have to wear your granddad's leathers from 1950s and look like a plonker. You generally don't, not modern day. But there is loads of bike kit to pick from. If you're picking an adventure bike, there's textile bike gear, there's lots of things to do with waterproofing, etc. But all it really comes down to is making sure you buy correct gear that you like, that's your style, but make sure that they're certified and they're safe. Likewise with the helmets, you can get them from 50 quid up to £1,000+. Make sure with your budget, because it does come down to your budget, you're buying the best that you can afford, and it's got the right certification and it's certified. And the thing of it is, if you buy good bike gear and decent bike gear, it will last you for years. Going back to Roadskin as an example, their jeans I've probably owned now for 4 years and they still look like new. Buy the cheap stuff, it's not going to last. Buy the decent stuff, you're investing in something that will last you years through all of your bike kit. So just please bear that in mind. Now on to number 4, a few things to consider. Your bike and where you're going to store it, because safety is quite a key thing. Motorcycles are a lot easier, for example, for thieves to nick. So if you're storing it outside of your house, on your driveway or in your front garden, please consider buying yourself a decent lock. Again, it can be quite expensive, but the way to look at it is to make your bike as hard as possible for the person still. Most thieves are really, really lazy. And what they want to do is they want to break the steering lock, and they can do that super quickly. Wheel the bike away, start it down the road when they're out of sight, and ride your bike away, or put it into a back of a van. By making it more difficult to steal, I mean there's things that you can buy like a disc lock. It goes onto the disc of your bike, it locks in so they can't just push it away. Another great thing is an anchor point, and now an anchor point gets drilled, literally bolted down into the ground, and it's like a hook, a big metal hook. You can run a chain through that and chain it to your back of your bike or the front of your bike. But what that means is that you're going to have two methods of stopping a thief. You'll have a disc lock on the front and you'll have it anchored to something. If you've got a lamppost or something really sturdy, you can run your chain around there and do exactly the same thing. But the other side, like I said, to consider is where you're storing your bike. If you've got a garage, happy days. But likewise, put an anchor point in your garage, put something on the front of your bike to stop the thief. And even better, if you've got a garage door that flips open, stick a garage door defender. It bolts in and it stops them from ripping open the door. Think of security. Likewise, when you're out riding your bike, get yourself a super light lock, but is really well credited for its safety rating, and always bolt your bike to something that can't be moved if possible, or do the same effect. Use a two-step method, something on the front and something on the rear. Consider your bike, its safety. When you go out, you want to come back and see it's still there when you get home. That brings me on to number 5. Number 5, the cost of running a motorcycle, the things to consider. You've got to MOT your bike every 12 months. It goes for a check, and if it's not safe to be on the road, you may need to pay for repairs to keep your bike safe. So you must have it MOT'd. The other side of things is road tax. Here again in the UK, we have to pay road tax. You need to make sure your bike is taxed. The price, well, that all depends on the size of your bike. So go and check that online to make sure it's within your costs that you can afford. Then the other is insurance. If you're new to riding, it's going to be quite a bit higher than somebody that's been doing it for years. So before you purchase that bike, go and get your insurance quote. So you've got MOT, road tax and insurance. They're the 3 minimum things you need to have your motorcycle on the road. But the other costs to think about as well is running costs. Fuel, you're going to have to put fuel in the bike, of course, to run it, or electric if you go down the electric side of things. Not just that, servicing. Different bikes cost different amounts to service. So a little bit of research on the bike that you're thinking of buying and what it would cost you annually to service your bike is another consideration. But if you service a bike and you look after it, it will look after you. Make sure your tyres are good, make sure that you've got your bike insured, taxed and MOT'd, and you can go out and enjoy some amazing rides. Now, one final thing. If you've enjoyed this video and you're looking for a friend, a biker buddy that you can watch on YouTube and go, I want to go and do all that awesome stuff, then consider subscribing to this channel, because on here we review the latest motorcycles, we go on the most craziest adventures all around the world, and we also review the latest motorcycle gear. So if you think this is the right place for you to be, hit that subscribe button. Let me be your biker friend that you can watch and follow the journey. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, please hit that subscribe button and don't forget to give it a thumbs up because it helps me and this channel grow. And I'll see you in the next crazy helmet head adventure.